Hello and welcome everybody out there in YouTube and D&D land. Before we jump in the action today, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. All those things help us out tremendously. If you are interested in supporting our community a little bit further, consider becoming a member here in our YouTube channel. Memberships start at just $2 a week, and you gain access to some really cool emotes. In addition to all of that, if you are interested in becoming a player in any of our games, we have a Tuesday early or Friday early that is available that we need to get 2 to 3 new players inside of. As soon as we have those new players, we'll be able to start that brand new campaign, which I should also make the announcement now because every other game aside from this one is in the same world and very high level. That game is going to be kicking off the next major story for the universe in total. So, they're going to be the ones leading the way for others to join into whatever is going to be happening, if it coincides with their world or not, but that'll be the primary focus. So if you want to jump in on that, be sure to reach out and let me know. Also, we are doing a nice little donation thing for the stream. If we can get $40 before break, I will put back on the bunny onesie to wear for the second half, like we did last week, which was a phenomenal time for many of the players and anybody else watching. Not for the person wearing it, but it happens. And in addition to that, we are trying to get people to jump in to help us get together $300. So we will be running a high one-shot where I will be running the one-shot while. And it'll be a phenomenal time for everybody to, just see exactly how goofy and stupid everything gets. But first seats are always going to be given to people who, are the top 6 donators towards this goal. And then all of the other ones are filled by community members. You have to be a community member to be able to be a player because there is a vetting process. So be sure to keep that in mind. And I'm more than happy to vet anybody into our community. Just schedule a one-on-one with me. But I believe that's going to be everything. Go ahead and give us that recap, Kat.
Right. To decipher my notes here. Normally they make a lot more sense than this. As we fall asleep the morning of the day of the ball, we all experience strange dreams. It seems that all of the deities that are connected to us feel that whatever is happening this evening is not just important for the city, but important for the divine race that we've been part of. Monkey is the first to experience his dream. He hears a knock at the door at the forge, and it's the familiar older woman who had been part of his visions before. They talk about his awakening, that as he gains worshippers, it seems that he is less of an angry person, that he's finding more of his true nature. And she says that she has come to ensure that there's no hard feelings between them, although others may not feel the same. There are those who do. And many grow tired of fighting. Even though there are some of those who want to keep him asleep. Which comes with the admission that the group that he has seen in his visions were the ones who put him to slumber. But she is glad that he is learning and finding happiness here. She also takes a moment to look at Glenn and say that she is happy that he is Monkey's champion. And then she leaves, leaving everyone in the forge back to their rest. That night at Reese's estate, Bartikov is visited by his ooze cat, who is saying that their master grows hungry. He also wants to make his move this evening and suggests that the cat himself, who is an ooze, I will add, if he takes him and processes him and grinds him up into a powder or a potion, putting him into the drinks at the party would be enough to convert more people into oozes. With that preparation, Bartikov will have enough to spike 2 punch bowls. He's also reminded of the consequences if he does not follow through, and Bartikov makes the tactical decision to go after Spaldings, who are awful people, instead of innocents. Next is Somdi, who is floating around in Reese's pond. And he starts to dream, which is unusual for him. He is taken to a swamp with Mama Vusi, who tells him that other entities will be playing their hands this evening. And that it's up to Somdi to prevent those things from happening. Because she doesn't, she asked him if he would like to see anyone else be more powerful than her. So her suggestion is for him to sabotage what everyone else, and if he does so, he would be able to dream every night in the swamp of her creation. Next is Kat, and she wakes to a vision of her homeland and Lyra. And she also is warning Kat that others are making their moves this evening. Her motivation isn't for power itself, but because she feels she has more to offer in that place than the strife or chaos that others might. She tells Kat that to spread her influence, it would be to find beauty and redemption in people she might see as enemies. That hate may not always be the answer, but simply just stopping what their ideas are. And that even though there are some people who are beyond redemption, there are some that are not. And she does also hint that she guided Gabriel on his way. But they take a moment to reconnect, and Kat asks how she's able to get back in contact with her if she needs, and is told that about the clerics, to Lyra would have more of a direct connection. She's the last to dream, and Reese wakes up from his short sleep or meditations, and he goes and releases the butler from his debt. His last real big favor. As a thank you for everything that he has done, and also because he does not know what the evening will bring. He gives the butler the journal, saying that he would like for he wants to make sure that the butler gives the journal to his daughter, but kind of leaving some ties neatly closed. On the way from the forge to Reese's house to group up before the ball, Glenn asks Monkey about being touched, and they talk about the visitor, and they reaffirm that they are friends, that they do want to work together, that they do find that they work well together, and their dedication to working towards what Monkey sees as his domains. We all get ready, get dressed, and we make our entrances at the ball. At least that went fairly well. We were able to make our entrances without any sort of suspicion or looking at us for, carrying magical items and such. We we were able to get everything in rather quietly. Right away, Kat meets with Davina and introduces the idea to later change dresses, also as a way for Kat to get to the inner rooms into the Spalding family. Kat also tells Davina that, yes, you might be being paired up with potential partners this evening, but to enjoy herself and to remember that her happiness is important. After this, Mahadi makes his entrance as well, and Reese introduces him to Nanu, who, considering that they have a both have fiendish but on opposite sides of ancestry, that went well as also. In the middle of it, Glenn is encouraged to dance by Reese, and ends up dancing with a Duke's 13th wife, and is, although he does well, is panicking to get out. In the middle of that, Mahadi's nephew, I believe he is, Ryan, is introduced to Davina, and that seems to be going well. In the middle of this, Bart and Kat have a dance, and Bart tells Kat about the demands that have been placed on him in regards to creating more oozes, and he apologizes in hopes that she would not judge him for what he does to keep her alive. After all of this kind of introductory thing, Spinoff makes his entrance with doves, and in true decadence of it, there's so many of them, but many of them have actually died in the box as well. So, not exactly the perfect send-off. Reese is invited on a tour that will be ahead of their meeting in the cigar shop, or in the cigar lounge. And Reese uses the opportunity to sing a happy birthday song to Spinoff, using his bardic charm to become best friends with Spinoff for a time. In the middle of it, Glenn is also invited on the tour, which is unexpected, considering that these Spaldings do not want to really associate with people who aren't themselves. So, and Glenn's not part of the family. In the middle of it, Glenn tells Reese that he was invited, and apparently the Duke wanted to add an extra partner, hinting at some possibilities with his wife. However, Glenn is not interested in that, but they're able to convince Spinoff to let Monkey come along, because Monkey and Glenn are heterosexual life partners. Which does kind of put like a nail on it, right? Like, that's like a perfect description. As all of this happens, Bart tries to take an opportunity to poison the punch, and Kat modifies his memory to think he already has.
Look at Bart's screen. It's just the pillow. Sorry, go ahead.
That was awesome. No, that was great.
Just the pillow. Yeah. It looks like
funny.
some shitty Photoshop pillow.
Yeah, yeah.
Alright, sorry. Continue.
That's all right. So we have all of this happening at once, and in the middle of it, Davina comes up to Kat and says, like, yes, let's go take a break. So the group splits. Kat and Davina go to talk about the law and the discussion of economic exploitation. Don't know how much of that was Kat and how much of that was the player. A little bit of both. Uh, then at that, Zombie is following those two, polymorphing into a fly in the servant's room to travel more discreetly. Glenn, Reese, and Monkey are getting ready to go on the tour. Which leaves Bardakov to hopefully be on the lookout for the two other objectives of the evening, which would be to find the threefold representative and also to speak with the Abaquan representative. And Nanu herself also talks to Bardakov, and she wants to go speak in your courtyard in the middle of all this. And she has many of these Spaldings charmed. It is at that junction where we have broken off that we will be starting our game.
So, Bartakov, we will begin with you. Music shifts.
Whoa.
Oh, sorry, that's also the wrong music. As you make your way over to the food court, where you see many of the servants of this fine castle, much larger than any castle you've been in your life, and as far as an individual goes, you've been to more castles than most non-royal folk. As you are brought over with the very lovely Nanu, of course he looks away when I blow up the image.
Damn, Joey.
Yeah, AI is phenomenal.
Please.
She seems to be followed by a total of 6 Spaldings. All of them are just gushing over her. They are absolutely phenomenally in love, and you're not quite positive if this is a charm effect or just a charming individual. So, I am curious as to what exactly we are going to be achieving tonight. I know you all have your plans, and I'll be honest with you. Aside from when Reese is speaking, I kind of just stop paying attention.
Me too, honestly, a lot of the time. But as far as I'm aware, the intent is for us to locate a representative of a group called the Threefold. Some secret organization. Someone's gone rogue. We need to identify who they are and some shit like that. I also need to find evidence of whatever immoral and illegal activities the Spaldings have been getting up to. We're trying to get some sort of recorded confession from spin-off jerk-off over there, but having actual physical evidence is going to help our case if that doesn't work.
As you are talking, she wanders her way over towards the couch and lays down on it with her feet propped up, and immediately 2 of the servants come over and start massaging her feet. Or, sorry, 2 of the nobles come over and start massaging her feet. Now you can accurately presume that this is a charm effect. Well, if we're looking for evidence, I suppose we should rouse the attention of the waitstaff, perhaps.
Possibly. And to be honest, one of my plans for how to get into restricted areas, once we discover what those are, it will definitely be a lot easier to do that if I have a plausible deniability for why I'm there, and having you in tow will help that.
Oh, I am not going to be disguising myself. Are you aware of how absolutely lovely this outfit is?
I'm counting on it. I don't need you to disguise yourself.
Very well.
The implication was that if we are caught somewhere we are not supposed to be, we could pretend that we had snuck off for some privacy.
Very well.
Also, having someone of your talents to watch my back seems like a good bonus.
I'm just debating what is in it for me to watch your back. Also, thank you, Wild Goose, and thank you, Jess. Time for some chaos. 1 inspiration to each player and 2 to the DM.
Ah.
And for clarification, viewer inspirations do allow you to re-roll, not just give advantage. So, use them wisely, but when you use them, you have to give a honk.
Aw.
Exactly.
Huh.
Exactly. So, what exactly are you offering me for my personal assistance in this endeavor?
What, I can't call on the goodness of your heart?
Oh, you and I both know that does absolutely nothing for me.
I'm well aware. Well, sadly, I can't. You and I both know that I can't enter into any official contracts with you, but based on my history and skills, you know that my word is my bond. So, what would you like from me? You know my talents, you know my skill set. I'm a tool. What would you have me used for?
Now you're saying all of the proper words. You know what? I have this rival of mine. He's much more, let's call it, dominating than I am. Especially for those that are supposed to be subservient. Now, how you treat your servants is completely your business. But I would prefer to take their contracts away from them for myself. And I believe a big, strong paladin as yourself would be capable of vanquishing a simple, well, devil for me.
I mean, depending on when you get me access to them, I can make sure that they're not only banished, but removed from existence.
Perfect. Well then, I suppose that we have a deal. She'll hold her hand out to you. Just in word, though.
You'll have to do things the mortal way for once, I'm afraid. But yes, we have a deal. And he'll take a hand.
She'll squeeze your hand for a moment, looking at you. Not in a painful manner, just a powerful one. Be sure to remember this, though. I don't take kindly to people betraying me. There's always
Anything less.
consequences.
Indeed. Well, you and I have had perfectly pleasant contracts so far, so I don't see any reason not to continue the relationship.
Yes. It'll be at minimum an entertaining bout to watch. Hopefully you are successful. Anywho, tell me who you need charmed.
Well, ideally, I need to know from one of the guards where they're supposed to prevent guests from going. That's always a good place to start looking if you need something imperminating.
Very well. She looks down at her feet and somebody snaps their attention up. Go fetch your personal guards that are here. Yes. A moment goes by before the guard comes over, and she stands up, wanders over to them, and in a form of walking and touching that makes you just innately jealous, she begins to weave her seductions through the individual's mind, and you see there's this small flash of blue light as the person's jaw goes slack. Now, you're going to answer the questions that I and this young man here have for you. She goes back to sitting on the couch.
Fortunately, them being charmed means they're unlikely to remember the conversation.
Until the charm ends.
Nah, they'll be dead by then.
What can I do to please you? Enjoy.
First
Hey,
of all,
we're not
never
that
say
type
that
of
again.
stream.
Well, I like this thing where you grab it by the and then you.
So you say you can touch your toes. Anyways, go ahead.
I need you to tell me all of the places that you have been explicitly told to keep guests away from.
Well, and he looks over at her and she goes, yes, go ahead, tell him. Guests are supposed to stay out of the kitchen during all of their rounds, and guests are also not allowed over towards the smoke lounge unless they are part of the personalized tour of Spinoff. In addition to that, guests are not adhere to the upper levels, where all of the bedrooms of many Spauldings that are from out of town are staying, as well as the personal quarters to the king and princess. We're also prohibited to allow anybody towards the dock entrance.
Kitchens, no chance Spinoff actually makes his own food and has anything to do with the kitchens outside of what comes out of them. Smoke lounge covered. Dock, unlikely to be a maybe. Have you been told why to keep people away from the docks?
We are never told any specifics. We just follow our orders and jobs. Though he has appointed 6 knights over towards each of the doors, as well as a archmage from the local colleges to protect them for this event.
And these are at the docks.
Not at the docks, the dock entrance of the estate. Here, I'll bring you back over to the global map.
It was one of the entrances we were told about.
It's pretty heavy security for a potential
Where's the Spaulding
point of
map?
access.
Oh, there it is.
6 knights and an archmage. Me and a Berenius.
So yes, the rear entrances are over here that lead down to the personal docks that only the Spaulding Castle has access to. Nobody else is... No fishers, no military, only their personal guards and themselves have access to it. And for the mansion itself, because all of you were given an actual map layout of everything, this is the location of the smoke lounge, though he didn't have any details pertaining to it specifically. And each of the dock entrances are here and here. And you are currently at the West Lounge. Here.
Were we able to take our earpieces in?
Those would definitely set off signals of magical traces, so presumably not, unless they're inside the bag of holding and it needed to be redistributed.
Yeah, I think Carl's. I think they're in the bag of
Bag of
holding
holding
or something.
Sandy. Okay.
And I mean, granted that we would have had an opportunity while we were all.
Actually, he probably could have just had him in his pocket or something.
Well,
Yeah.
it's a sensory. When you walk through it, it discerns
Right, but-
all
but-
magic.
Okay. I
Well,
was
you know, the
thinking-
earpiece would have 100% cover, so unless they were
Yeah.
patting you down, which none of you got the pat down service.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
correct. So you can.
We should
Yeah,
have
that-
planned this better. I could have sleight of handed him from Somdi to everyone.
And here's a
Yeah.
glaive, and here's a sword, and just.
No one notices.
No, even the person he's giving them to, like, Kat, here's the staff, and like she doesn't even notice.
The fuck did this come from? Like.
When did this get here?
It's actually already in my ear. What?
You're welcome. Just.
Oh, I love it.
Are we able to say that those would have been in Sandy's possession and we passed them out?
I would say that your characters are much more well prepared for this situation than the players were. So
How dare you be accurate?
Yeah,
Perfect.
because
So-
I think
you guys only
like,
took like 3 weeks to figure everything out. Like it's.
but also I think that our characters would have a better idea of when and how we can pass things off than us, as long as we give ourselves that opportunity.
And luckily, you have a monkey who his minimum roll on a sleight of hand beats the passive of 90% of the civilization.
With advantage.
And like,
Yeah, like.
I wouldn't use that kind of like that to say, hey Joey, I absolutely would have tucked a barrel of explosives into the bag of holding.
No.
Obviously not.
No,
But-
but something you
Like-
guys use on a daily basis. Actually, I will say, Monkey, I need a sleight of hand check for each
Sure.
individual. Tell me which one you were trying to slip it
Okay.
to first.
Yeah, we can certainly do that. Because you never know.
So who's first?
We will. Who would I give it to first? Probably Brother Jack.
All right, go for it.
Where's sleight of hand? There we
Yep. All right, next.
go. All right, and then after that, it would be
Nobody here has a passive of 33. If they did, Reese would be pissed.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Bart
I
because
mean,
he
Glenn
doesn't.
would be pissed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then it would be go to Bart because he doesn't have natural. I'm trying to do it in that order.
Yeah. 22.
22.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty damn good. Next person.
And then Somdi because he stays out of my mind.
Okay.
25.
Next up.
And then Cat.
Yeah, easy.
34. And then Reese. I just got nervous.
The only one that.
Okay, 25.
Yeah, you're fine.
As long as it wasn't Snake Eyes, I was
Ooh.
worried about that.
Actually, Reese is specifically being watched during this event.
Yeah.
So let me roll. Damn.
Sees me handing something.
Yeah. Don't worry. Nothing's happening yet.
I had to think Reese would have played it off though. Like, oh yeah, my earrings. You're right. I need my jewelry.
Deception
drop.
check, Reese.
Oh.
Yeah.
Where's that?
In the party, Reese, now out of character, you know that your character is being watched at this event.
Yeah, but I mean, I would have done it.
Damn!
I'm gonna use the Goose's inspiration
Honk.
from before honk. 17. No, that's still pretty bad.
God damn, that's
It
really
is what it
bad.
is.
Can we honk someone
Eh.
else?
It
Yeah, you can
happens.
use it. No, yours is made for you specifically.
Alright.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Inside. Damn. Okay.
That'd be alright.
You have no idea you're being
Yeah.
watched. Like,
don't
you
know
don't
I'm
see
being watched.
anybody watching you. Like.
I've been the center of attention
Fuck.
quite a bit. So.
Damn. Oh, that reminds me. I have to make a handout for, inspiration. Yeah, I don't have one in this game. Good. Viewer inspiration.
Your inspiration.
Goose.
Yeah. I saw
Two.
Goose added another one, so I was like, oh, I still have the one from before.
Mm-hmm.
Just that way, it's not a thing.
Oh, that gives me 2 free rerolls I can use at any
Yeah.
point in time.
Lovely.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
It's all right. We know you're gonna have to use them on initiative.
Fucker. Listen, the Spalding are not fast.
Why are you wet?
But
haven't
they're
used 'em.
thick.
Haven't used them yet. I'm waiting for. I'm gonna use it like a halfling does. Probably.
Uselessly? Wonderful.
Yep.
Anyways.
Oh, I might have an idea for the one shot.
So, Bart. The guard is still standing there waiting for any other questions from you.
What about any sub-levels to the castle? Basements, dungeons, crypts?
The sub-levels have been completely taken out. We kept
do you
having a situation of flooding happening thanks to the lake nearby, so we have completely removed the access points for anybody. That occurred 5 years ago.
Where are the old access points?
One of them is through the kitchen, through the servants' quarters over on the east wing, right before the stairs to the upper levels, and the other 2 are by the docks.
Yes, it is. You may go now and forget all of this conversation ever happened.
He'll look over at Nanu. Oh, yes. Go over to that wall and start licking it until I tell you to stop. Very well. And he goes over to the wall, and it is disturbing what an Aranyes can force people to do.
Lord. Bart's gonna activate the earring and say to Cat mostly, but he will have everyone else tied in. Just managed to extract some information from one of the guards. They've been explicitly told to keep everyone away from the kitchens, the smoke lounge, the bedrooms, and the docks. Kitchen seems fairly obvious. I don't think we're going to find anything there. Smoke lounge is being covered by Reese. Cat, are you going to be able to get up to the bedroom level? And if so, are you going to be able to get away from the little princess long enough to do some snooping around?
First off, Kat and Glenn, holy shit, when did that get put in your ear?
What the?
I need
Yeah,
both
that's
of
a
you
moment of, like,
to give
big
me...
deal.
I need
Zombies.
both of you to give me charisma saves to, not freak the fuck out in the middle of the castle.
Love it.
Because you're the only 2 without the passives that would...
Oh no!
Ah, God.
Perfect.
Side note.
Yeah.
Side note. Thanks to Bar's filter, it now blocks out the branding of anything he's drinking.
I don't know if it matters, but technically Glenn did see the second sleight of hand.
Did Glenn
He
see
has-
his own? That was the
Oh.
No,
33.
No.
No. So, Glenn, as you are beginning to take off onto the tour, you exclaim,
Holy shit!
Katarine, heading up the stairs with Davina,
Love it.
exclaim.
Fucking Bartakov! What did you do now?
Sorry.
Love it. And just for more shenanigans, just a reminder that Monkey does not have an earring.
So,
And
anyways.
you just looked at Glenn like,
The fuck?
Yep.
But anyways, because of the situation, let's move over to Kat and Sam D. As the 2 of you are walking with Davina up the stairs, very randomly, Sam D, you hear the message from Bart, and you hear Kat exclaim as she just did. And Davina stops and goes, "What?"
Sorry, I just remembered that he, I saw him with Nanu before we left, and just happened to think about...
Oh, Nanu, you mean that freakishly tall, slender, well-built woman?
That one, yes.
She's not very modest, is she?
Not in the least.
Do you know her?
We've met before a few times.
I've never
and
seen her before, or heard of her.
Cat's gonna start being like, fuck, and then, right, and he's completely smitten with her, and it's just, I do not know why. And she's gonna try and pass it off as jealousy.
Ah, give me a deception check. Or performance, depending on how you...
They're both the same, but do I still have my advantage?
Oh, you've been talking to her for way longer than a minute.
Right.
23. Let me roll for her, because she does have a small possibility of beating that.
Oh.
Very small. Yeah, no, she failed. Very small possibility of beating that.
We've played this game. Cat has played this game before.
Yeah. Oh. I mean, if you would like, I can ask some of the guards to go, maybe her carriage caught on fire and she needs to go look at it or something, or, I mean, they could arrest her. I could have her be arrested. It's that easy. I can just tell them to go arrest her.
No, it's, I am hoping that he starts to see that there's better option. But I want it to be something that he sees.
Oh, I understand.
No, I do appreciate it though. I just, been a long-standing, thing with him. He's distracted easily.
All right. Well, let us keep going up the stairs then, and she keeps wandering, and you begin going down the very vast hallway, and you do see that at the top of the stairs there are 2 guards, but you're with Davina, so you just go on by. Samdi, did we ever have you make a stealth check as a fly on the wall?
Do I need to?
It just matters if somebody swats the fly or not.
Can I stay on the ceiling then?
Yeah, and make it harder for them to slap you. Go ahead and roll, though.
Okay, I expected a taller ceiling.
Oh, it is a tall ceiling, but these are guards. They have halberds.
That is the definition of overkill, I believe.
Yes. So you get your bonus of proficiency, which you don't have, plus a fly's dexterity, which is 0.
I am proficient in stealth.
You're proficient in stealth?
Yeah, that's the only reason I'm positive.
0 plus your proficiency bonus. Let's go.
Haven't you seen Captain Hook?
And you gotta honk. You gotta honk if you need.
Yeah.
I only honk if I need to.
Same.
Honk.
Honk if you're in distress.
Yep.
So yeah, +5.
Let's go.
Yeah, I choose to honk.
Thank you, Goose.
But the visual of you being hit with a halberd and then just going
Collapsing
like...
and eating the man. Like...
You opened this can of worms.
Yeah, let's go. Easy
The
honk.
most powerful honk.
The
So-
honk that reverberated around the world.
You fly and you, instead of flying up to the ceiling, because you're a fly, you make noise when you buzz. You attach yourself and crawl to the ceiling, and then crawl halfway down the hallway, and then fly to follow after them from 15 feet away. By the time you catch back up to them, Katarine, you've made your way with Davina over towards her room. She opens up the door, and it is not locked or anything like that. She just opens it, and it is a pigsty. The room itself is large and has beautiful tapestries across the walls, the most fine of silks and linens that any bubbly personality individual would absolutely adore. The armoire is thrown wide open with various different pieces of fabric of various different form-fitting corsets and other things like that all over the room. She is definitely not an individual who cleans up after herself, and as she looks, she seems a little embarrassed and goes, "The servants are supposed to clean this during the day. I suppose they've been a little busy."
There's a big event tonight, that's true.
I'll have a talk with them. I apologize for this mess. Looking around, she does have a very nice table that has a mirror above it. This gorgeously woven mirror that has to be possibly more expensive than some homes, with the amount of different gems encrusted in the border. The perimeter of the mirror itself seems to be encased in silver, and it has gold inlaid ivory across the edges. It is gorgeous looking. And then right underneath that, there appears to be 12 different hairbrushes she has. And notably, these are all various brushes that would go for different techniques you would do to brush your hair to make it look differently, or for different textures you would have given the environment that you're in, the humidity, other things like that.
That's interesting. Do you find that you struggle with the humidity here?
Well, in all honesty, most days it's not terribly humid. However, it does sometimes get a little bit.
Right. Oh, well, perhaps. Let me show you. The other thing is that she would have needed to get the dress itself, or have access to the bag to get the dress.
Yeah. If only the person with the bag was nearby.
I mean, technically they are.
They are. Just Cat is unaware because his stealth was 23. Or...
Yeah.
25.
I think I would have known that he was following. So let me, before we get too far into the rest of the evening, I wanted to ask about the conversation we had a few minutes ago. About the impact of your father's decisions on people, and I feel that he keeps a lot from you.
Well, I mean, he of course has his own priorities that he has to tend to above me, and that is perfectly reasonable.
Right, but I also feel that can I be totally honest?
Sure, yes.
And I say this as someone who has been in a position very similar to yours. By keeping information from you, and then asking you to bluntly do as he says, I feel that he's using you.
Well, I am his daughter, that is...
It does not excuse it.
But that is my role to play. I mean, that's... The purpose is to continue the lineage and make sure that after him there'll be another suitable king.
But that does not respect you, who you are, now. and who you could be.
I mean, I'm a princess. What else could I possibly want in this world?
As someone who was, there is so much more to life than following what your family wants. That, I mean, it seems to me, and she'll take a look around, that you love fashion and you love beautiful things like that. Do you not find that you would be more fulfilled doing things like that
Well,
rather than?
I am very fulfilled doing that, and that is what I get to spend my days on. I mean, he gives me my allowance, and I spend that in order to get whatever new fashions I wish.
And
Perk of being a princess.
yes, certainly, but you are trading a bit of your own autonomy for that. Is it worth a trade?
I mean,
A gilded cage is still a cage.
need you to roll a persuasion roll on this.
It's with advantage.
Okay.
27.
Well, no, yes, but no, it's different. I don't fit in out there, and I don't know anything going on. This is safe. It's always safe. If I was out there, then who knows what those monstrous poor people would do. It's how
The
she
fly
was
in the wall,
raised.
readying. Just drop down and bite her.
Just can I trust you with something that I have not trusted with really anyone else?
What?
And I hope that that trust will be returned in a way.
I am a poor person.
I too fucking hate the
You
poor.
know, the stoat that I have with me, the little weasel that was with me when we had.
The rodent, yes.
He's I named him Misha for a reason. When I was still in my father's castle, I shared many of the viewpoints you do. That it was safe, that it was, as long as I tried to make my family happy, then everything was right in the world. And I could not understand why those people, right, were unhappy with my father's rule. Because I was happy, right? So he was capable of making decisions that would keep people happy. So it made no sense to me that they would be unhappy. So I understood them as to be ungrateful, right? We're doing the best we can, and they're just not, you know, picking themselves up, asking for too much help. But there was a servant who is named Misha, who's, I don't know how he managed to avoid having a fate worse than being beaten when he said it, but it was something I caught that he said under his breath about some new thing that was being restricted. I think there was a curfew being put in place. And he said something along the lines that undercut what my father's decision was, and I didn't understand it. And he was brave enough to have a conversation with me. And so that conversation turned into me sneaking out of the castle and going to the meetings of those, those peasants who were planning to revolt or planning on change. And I saw them only as my enemies at first. But then I heard their stories. And began to see that my viewpoint was wrong. What I had been told was to keep me in line, not to keep them in line. When it eventually did all fall apart, I know that he did not survive the uprising. But it was a moment of bravery on his part to try and reach out to those who had influence, who could have changed things. That is inspired me enough to do what I do now, and why my companion shares his name. Part of what I'm doing here, you told me that you admired me for speaking truth to you. I hope that I can do that now, and that you will trust me enough to believe that I am not trying to do this to manipulate you or to empower myself, but to speak for people whose voices you have not yet heard. Through no fault of your own, but I'm hoping that you will hear them and understand see things differently.
I don't know. This where do you even begin they get to speak to my father. They have representatives of their community that speak to the respective Spaldings that are in charge of them. It's why don't they address these problems or ask for change or anything?
Because it makes them a target. And like I mentioned before, those in power tend to want to stay in power, so they don't see it as a need for compassion. They see it as a threat. Will you trust me for a moment? Long enough to be brave and look at the truth of what is going on here.
I suppose.
And she'll walk over and take her hands and just give them a good squeeze. I have faith in you. That you are capable of seeing and understanding. and having a compassionate and kind heart. I'm asking you to be... What I need from you I need you to have your eyes opened to what your family is doing. And to do that, I need access to your father's things.
Wait, you want me to just give you access to... I can't do that. That would be betraying my father. And there's nothing that points out that he's done anything wrong. He's protected me my entire life.
He has done nothing wrong to you.
Of course.
But that does not mean he has done nothing wrong.
I have yet to see any evidence proving that he's done anything wrong.
This is where that trust comes in. Because I know that there is. I just need you to give me the opportunity to show it to you.
I don't...
If I find nothing...
Explain yourself. Explain yourself immediately.
We prevented an assassination on Joshi the other night. He was stealing people from districts and torturing them.
What?
Removing their organs. There was a dead body in the basement. And we were able to get from him that this is a family business and that your father is not only involved but leading it.
Wait, Joshi is... He's barely even within the castle ever. He only shows up for the stupid tours every time my father housed them.
And isn't that a coincidence?
What do you mean?
Reese is working on getting onto that tour, and I'm sure that he has been invited already. That is a way that we are trying to truly understand the extent of what is going on here.
Well, yeah, my father was talking about how he wanted Reese to be joining him, and... Well, it was a strange circumstance, to say the least, but,
Right.
he wanted Reese to be watched carefully after being recommended by Joshi, and now all of a sudden my father seems infatuated with him. It makes no sense at all.
It doesn't. Unless you understand that being in part of that, the tours and going to the smoking lounge, something happens there related to what we found him doing. And we have the only chance we have this evening to try and stop what could be just monstrous behavior is this evening. I had hoped that I would not have to break your heart by telling you those things.
Don't break my heart.
Because I know that you do care for him and that you do love him, and he has treated you like a princess. I'd hope that your sense of right and wrong could help you see past.
Listen, I am not convinced that my father has done anything wrong, but if it'll make you stop talking like one of those EP people, then we can go take a gander at things.
Good. Good. And if you remain unconvinced, that's fine. I just want you to have a shot at this and give me a shot at convincing you.
Well, let us go see then. What do you were talking about him keeping his journals and such. I assume you mean his room. Fine. But we have to be quick. I don't want to get caught.
Of course.
5 minutes. If we don't find anything in 5 minutes, we leave.
That's all I ask. And then I will act as all this did not happen.
Oh, there's a guard down the hallway. How are we going to sneak past him?
Okay, so then my question is, would we have passed off the scroll of pass wall before going? Because that would have been the central plan, was to use that scroll to get in.
That would be up to if Monkey knew about that plan or not to do it.
Yeah, that would have been part of, like, she would have been like, okay, I'm gonna get into that room, by any means necessary, incapacitate the princess, use pass wall to get in.
Oh, did you not copy that into your spellbook?
I didn't have time to copy it and then prepare it.
Gotcha. Well then, we'll make it a D20. Monkey, let's roll a D20 to see if you've remembered. History check.
All right, you got it. So just roll history. I'll roll a history.
Yeah.
Bum, bum, bum. This is not at advantage. 18.
Okay.
Me too.
Monkey remembered that you would need that, so he did slip it to you.
Perfect.
So, as you gather that together and place the scroll up against the wall, placing your hand on it, this portal between the two walls opens up and you easily step inside. And everybody, we're going to take our break right now. When we come back, we'll see what Reese, Glenn, and Monkey are doing. Be right back. Hi, welcome back, everybody. Yes, I'm wearing this thing again, so there you go, everybody. So, where last we left off, we were panning the camera over to Monkey, Reese, and Glenn. The perfect trio to have unsupervised.
Go ahead.
As the three of you... Oh, wait, that's the wrong button. Wrong button. As the three of you are being gathered together for Spinoff's tour, you take note of everybody else who is apparently joining in on this marvelous little show. You see that there is a total of 15 other individuals outside of your small group. You take note of many of them, Reese, as you've had conversations with, or at least heard of them, and people are making their fine introductions, talking about their various businesses that they attend to, and I'm not going into the details for what these murder victims are doing for livings for all of you, other than the ones that actually matter.
Yeah, I will ask, is Richard, Roscoe, or Patience in this group? Since they're also
Patience is. But the others are not. Now, you all begin walking. Heading first over towards the east wing. Walking down this magnificent long hallway and corridor that you've experienced only a couple of times before in your life. And looking at all of the wonderful different murals and portraits made by various famous artists across the realm of the Spaulding family. You take note that every single one of them, they shave off maybe about 30 pounds or so on them and define their jaws a bit more, less rounded and more cut. As you are having all of this, Reese, you are asked to join Spinoff over towards the front, which you know is not beside him, but right behind. Leaving Monkey and Glenn in the back. So, as you all can see through this marvelous little area, that we have been accumulating additional new wealths and wares within our collection here. As all of you know, the finer things in life is one of the grandest reasons to be a Spaulding. It is our purpose in order to aspire towards all of these and start gathering them. And I have to show you all some magnificent new collections that I've gotten in the gallery. You enter into that wing, and you do get the immediate shimmer of magic being pointed out on any individual wearing any of it as you cross that threshold. Reese, you are the first one to do it. Monkey and Glenn, you both notice.
It's my earring and my instrument.
Yep. And immediately a guard approaches over towards you as they take note of that and spin off. Oh, please, sir, he's perfectly fine. He's playing me a ditty.
Mm-hmm.
I am going. Oh.
Go ahead, Monkey.
Since I do see it, I'm gonna. Oh, son of a gun! I'm gonna try to remove Glenn's earring.
Okay.
Because if I remember right, we had talked about if it's like hidden, like in a hand or something, like
it wouldn't be visible. But if it's
it wouldn't be visible.
in the ear, it just brings.
Yeah. So I'm gonna attempt to. Oh, I'm not even attempt. I'm going to. I've got a goose if I need to.
Okay. What are the odds that you fail 3 times in a row?
I don't know. So I'm gonna goose Glenn. All right, no kidding. Okay, and I'm gonna honk. Thanks, Goose.
Goose coming in clutch this session. Jeez. Now, the reroll. No, the reroll allows you to roll one die, and that is So 21. Still beats the guards that are watching right here.
Okay.
Glenn, you feel like the hair right behind your ear kind of like tickle a little bit, and you notice that Monkey's hand is pulling away.
I got you.
Now, as the rest of the Spauldings pass through that threshold, you do see on a few of the Spauldings in particular that they do have a shimmer about themselves as well. I need an Arcana check for anybody proficient in Arcana.
Oh, I thought I was. I'm not. I have advantage, but I'm not proficient, so I can't roll.
20.
Damn, that's a bad roll for you. Anyways.
D20s aren't my thing.
Yeah.
My spells are DCs.
So, you recognize the magic, and it seems almost protective in nature. It shines on Spinoff, on 3 other men, and one of 2 women that are escorted with you down here. Looking at them, you know one of these men, Terrence Spaulding. You've had various conversations with him. He handles the family plot on the grounds for all the Spauldings who pass away and the legends and lores of each of them. A book that, for the life of you, you could never convince yourself to read because god damn is it fucking boring and depressing.
I've skimmed it. I will ask, is Joshi in this group?
Joshi is not in this immediate group.
Okay.
What?
And then I wanted to ask, the things that are shining on Spinoff, what specifically is shining? Is it like his crown, some rings?
It's an aura surrounding him.
Okay.
Seems protective in nature. This isn't exactly a detect magic where like you would ping and know what it is. Maybe the source of it would know, or they have their own way of knowing, but for you it just seems protective in nature, and that's the best you can glean.
Okay. Interesting.
So, as you all head into the hall and begin discussing various different objects that they have, he brings your attention over towards this closed off little cubicle area. It is this large structure that clearly seems to be placed here with intent to make a grand reveal or show of some kind. There are curtains surrounding it on all sides, and the size of it is very grand given how large this area is. And as soon as you walk in here, you watch as Spinoff sits down in this chair right here, which I might as well grab his token and put him there for you. And I made them all large size because they are fucking huge. And this is Spinoff, by the way.
Do you come to me on the night of a daughter's wedding?
He does not have a neck. Anywho, he sits down in the chair as many others begin moving around. Reese, you can place yourself in this chair right here as he gestures for you to sit down. I would point out that you have about 15 minutes left by the time you got here of your charm.
I don't like him. He has
he-
my IRL hairline.
He gestured over here. Well, everybody, we have quite a few new artifacts in our possessions. We have the map over there. I call it the Finder's Map. It is a phenomenal resource we'll be handing out to many of our digging sites and excavators, as apparently if you can, well, brush across it with a material, it will discern in your location the whereabouts of more of that material. I believe it'll make our mining excavations for jewels and gems phenomenally good. In addition to that, we have this bowl of consecrated water. You see people go over to it. This water is, well, apparently able to banish fiends back to whence they came through divine summonings of magic that has been accumulated. It is believed that unicorn blood is utilized to infuse into it. You hear everybody, ooh. Yes, yes, yes.
Can I do an insight check on both the map he was talking about and him talking about the water?
Sure, go for it.
I assumed it was just bullshit from the beginning.
Yeah, and this one is at advantage. Oh, it doesn't matter. 20.
He fully believes what he is saying.
Okay. Never mind. Sorry.
Pull over and break it. Oops, just cat. Now, those are just two of our most recent finds that we put here. But we also have a wonderful new item to reveal to you. He claps his hands loudly, and you watch as two guards, burly individuals, come walking out. And they start pulling the curtain back, where in the middle of that box, you see that there is a single vase. It has the face of a snake on it, hissing downwards, and is almost emerald looking across all of it. There are cracks that make you believe at one point in time this was broken and then pieced together, and you do notice in a 10-foot perimeter around it there is red dye and a rope that would stop anybody from getting too close over to it. This vase, everybody, belongs to a powerful djinn, and as such, we are able to converse with it, bend it to our will, and it will be providing our family with some much-needed assistance in the near future. You see one person kind of like leaning over the rope. I'd encourage you not to get too close. If the djinn has a body to inhabit, it will.
I will approach it.
Mind the rope, please.
Of course. And I will see if I can reach out with detect thoughts. Right, with the feet. So there's no verbal or somatic.
Alrighty. Your mind stretches out over towards the vase, and you don't detect anything near it.
I look at Spinov. Well, if you can give us a demonstration, that would be fantastic.
We are currently working on finding the most resilient of minds to handle this within our family. We wish to use our abilities to the grandest that we can.
So it needs to inhabit a body before it could help us.
Correct. The expedition group that had found it shattered into pieces. But of course, when they finished putting it together, the djinn had taken over one of their bodies. Of course, there was bloodshed felled, and the individual that he had, entered into had to die. However, every other person was able to get it and bring it back here for all of us. Through some experimentations that we had, thanks to some marvelous debtors, we have found out exactly the limitations of how far it can reach to grasp somebody. Roughly about 10 feet away.
That's interesting to know.
It only took 4 people testing it.
That's not... Hey, 4 people. If it's for the cause.
Exactly. And you see the room nods in unison, all of them being like, ah, yes, human sacrifice. Excuse me while I push this fucker over the line. Whoa, you really want a Spalding to be consumed by a djinn?
Can't tell if that's a curse or a boon to them.
True.
I reach out to Glenn's mind with my telepathy, and I go, "Is there anything that you've noticed? Anything that pops up, Glenn?"
I mean, I'll take a look around the room and see if there's anything that really pops out in my eyes.
Roll me a perception check.
His eye pops out.
Oh.
Focusing really hard.
Yeah.
Go. It's 18.
Looking around the room, these objects do seem curious to you, to say the least, but you wouldn't put them on any level of immediate concern or recognition within your mind. However, the people in this room, you take note of the ones that had that shimmer about them. And you notice the four of them seem much more cliquey than the rest. They seem to be hanging out towards one another and being gracious towards everybody, but mostly conversing amongst themselves. They also seem indifferent about the show of magical objects here. Either they have recognition from seeing them previously and they've been told, or this is not what they're here for.
And then with detect thoughts up, is there anything surface level that these people are thinking?
Well,
I'm like walking around.
as you can detect, as you can detect, one of them who's closer towards where you were standing, his thoughts seem to be fixated solely on you. He's very curious as to why Spinoff seems so infatuated with you all of a sudden. Another one seems to be wondering if Joshi has gotten all of his preparations completed already. And then you detect the thoughts of the only woman amongst the individuals that had that protective barrier around themselves. And her thoughts seem to be of what she plans on doing in the future. She seems to have a lot of ambitious goals for a human, to say the least.
I continue to reach into Glenn's mind and I tell him, I'm being watched. Do me a favor, see if there's a way. And I would kind of describe the guy who's watching me. See if he has like a necklace around his neck. See if we really should have planned to locate object. But let's keep an eye out for that supposed threefold member.
Right. Like in his head, and then Glenn's gonna walk up to the described guy that's watching over Reese.
So the individual whose attention was on you was Kyle Spaulding. Please describe Kyle for me.
It's the man he's fat. He has an interesting set of eyes. One, it looks gray. The other one looks brown. And he looks like he has a pig's nose, and one sinus is bigger than the other. And he doesn't have his hair slicked back, and his ears are flat against his head.
Now, after getting that description, Glenn, I need you to roll me an insight check to find which of these individuals on this tour match that.
I will use my game advantage for this.
And his pocket thing is more out.
What a description.
Right.
I am not comfortable with that description you just gave.
So the options are this individual, or this individual, or this individual,
I think it's the one with the weird looking. I think.
Yeah, you're thinking it's probably the taller amongst them that he's mentioning. And notably, for a Spaulding, Kyle's a very tall Spaulding. He's about 5'8".
Okay.
You've only seen a couple taller than him.
Right. Was Kyle Spaulding part of the clicky group?
Yes,
Okay.
I put the clicky group all together.
Okay.
For me to rip out these people's hearts, I'm going to go like shoulder deep.
Yeah, hey, best defense they have against you. Got to get through them layers.
Just makes me think about like all the whales you see with like propeller marks on them. It's just so many attempts that Reese has had to take their hearts. It's just like it didn't get deep enough.
So
Yeah, I'll walk up to who I presume is the one watching Reese. I'm pretty sure I got it right with Kyle. And just walk up to them and just say, "So, it seems like you guys are all bunched up together, not too impressed. What's the real show going? When's the real show gonna get started? You know?"
they all rotate their head over to you, blinking.
I'm just thinking in my head, like, I hope this is a good enough distraction for you to do what you gotta do. I guess grabbing their attentions. Do any of them look like they have any like threefold symbols or anything that I could try to glance over or anything like that?
Roll me a perception check.
Or like triple chins or something.
Yes. Many of
Like
them have 3
underneath.
chins. And they're the more fit of the family.
I will. Honk.
Ooh,
Honk.
he honked.
Nope.
I'm going to lucky it. Use my second point.
Oh. Oh, I love it when Reese uses his resources now.
Okay. You know what? Just because of that, I will add a d6 to this one too. Come on. give me something. There we go.
Let's
There we
go.
Nice.
His resources.
Yep.
Reese-
Before the combat.
Only one. It's only.
I know
only
we're
one.
good. I know we're good.
Yeah.
So, looking at all 4 of them, you're looking for any iconography that would discern one as a threefold member. Anything that makes them look a bit more sharp than the rest, more dangerous than the rest. And as you're looking over each of them, you get the sense of danger from all 4 of them. However, none of these people have any discernible marks as a threefold. None of them have a way of blending in perfectly, which is what you would presume you would have to find for somebody who's an active threefold member. They would have to be 100% unnoticeable within a room. They're not people of intrigue. They are people who sit there and are close to the head, but far enough away nobody's directly looking at them. And all 4 of these people seem to have just enough personality amongst Spauldings that they would not be considered people that blend in amongst the Spauldings. Unfortunately, you can start distinguishing them because you've been in their society for so long. And they just blink. Were you expecting something else?
Well, I mean, you guys just seem, pretty bored with what's going on around here, So just thinking, put 2 and 2 together, you must be waiting for something more exciting to start happening, right?
The woman walks over to you and holds her hand out to you expectantly. Astrid Spaulding, pleasure.
Pleasure to meet you too. You call me Father Jack.
Father, oh, you are so presumptuous with your mannerisms. Do you care to give me a dance? Of course, and she starts taking you onto the floor and making you lead the dance. And just so everybody's aware, I did use a picture of Mimi from the Drew Carey show in order to...
Love it. Absolutely love it.
I love it.
That was such a good show.
It was a great show.
I reached the monkey's head. Or I continue reaching the Glenn's head. Did you find anyone that might discern themselves? Is that her?
No. He's like, I don't think it's this group. And he's just thinking, okay. What was it? 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and spin it.
I didn't even know there was music here.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I asked Monkey in his head. I don't know. I think I have to just wait. Is there anything you could think of?
Patience. Patience is a virtue.
Mm-hmm. Though, just in case, we do need to root out this 3-fold member, and I think I have an idea. I think I have an idea, and I'm gonna pull out my ukulele, my music, and I'm gonna go. Let me sing you a song, spin-off, to commemorate your great collection.
And I just got a really good idea, but I can't share it.
Then everyone just stops and stares at you.
I'm waiting for spin-off's confirmation first.
Yes, I'm getting there. Sorry. So...
Oh, I want a metagame and I don't have a ring.
He would take a moment as you asked that and would gesture for you to attempt the song. And as you do so, from around the corner, Reese, further up ahead, the hallway that you did not come from, you see that same bald-headed archmage step out and just smile in your direction, watching.
Huh.
Good.
I will sing a song, right? It goes, it's a song of folded laundry and the collection of it. And I sing, Spin Off the Great once knew of a guy. His name was Carsley. Carly's be gone. Markley is my friend, and he likes to travel to the end. And assure you, my goals is with many, many Glens. And I point towards Glenn. Glenn be traveling, Glenn be moving, but all are in line when he's folding. And then I continue a song, but essentially I wanted to weave the saying into the music.
Give me a performance check.
I will use the in-game advantage for this performance. Where is it at? Ooh, I lost it. It's under P, right? Yeah.
Are there...
28.
Might be really stupid. Are there any other ladies in the group?
2. Out of the 15 plus the 3 of you and spinoff, so 19 people, there's a total of 3.
Oh my god, should I do this?
Monkey gonna get his groove on.
Well, kind of.
Hi there, pretty lady.
Are we all ready for shit to go down? I am going to put my hand out to dance with one of the ladies, and I will grab her and start dancing around the floor.
Oh, I need a persuasion roll from you to see how
Okay.
that goes.
Oh shit. Game advantage. Persuasion.
I love how the two players the two characters with the worst charismas are the two actively recruiting for their religion.
I know, I love it too. 11, I'm glad I used game advantage.
11, she'll show hesitance at first, but then look you up and down and will allow you to dance with her.
Okay. I'm gonna start dancing with her around the floor.
Now.
And I'm going to, during this, at the end of the song, I'm going to spin her into the ropes. So that she gets within the jar.
This is going to be a performance check. You're trying to make this look like it's...
Like, just having a good time. Well, it was either me or her.
Yeah,
I think it's probably better to go with her into there.
Yeah. Reasonable.
Is that gonna end poorly, badly, or rather well?
I said, are you guys ready for shit to go down? Okay, here we go.
I was not here for this. I did not agree to this.
We're not even in the main meeting yet.
I know, but I can't resist. Okay, here we go. Let me take it off of advantage because it's just.
God, I wish I brought some popcorn for this session.
Yeah, right.
It was almost nat 20.
14 for you. That's phenomenal.
It is.
As you are spinning and dancing, Reese, your performance has been appreciated by the crowd. These Spauldings are infatuated with your song, and your forwardness with this is why I need you to give me a persuasion roll. This will be enough to make it so your performance has gotten your point across to anybody who's aware of the threefold. But the persuasion is to hopefully cause whoever, if they are here, to act.
31.
Also, you get to thank Lewin for a viewer inspiration, Reese. Lewin, do you want them to say something specific when they use it? This is the Mika, the meme lord of our community, voted last year.
I love it.
So.
Thank you.
Monkey. As you spin her over towards the ropes, she goes crashing and tumbling over them, falling down to the ground, and the vase shaking. I need you to give me a sleight of hand check to project her in there enough that she would be touched by it, but not enough that you would break the vase.
There we go. 32.
Oh,
So
she
this is
lands
chaos.
perfectly star-shaped around the vase. Oh! Falling down to the ground, and immediately everyone's attention shoots over there, and she, what's going on? What's going on? Gods, what's happening? And her eyes begin glowing a bright red, and the guards come out, and all of them start cussing, and Spinoff will raise his hand. My command, execute! And you watch as she begins fighting and screaming, and all four of the guards take their halberds and skewer, stabbing and killing this renowned noble within the castle itself. As soon as she is dead, you watch as this green light moves out of her mouth into the jar. Apparently they weren't joking.
Spin-off, you throw such a great party.
What the hell was that? Spinoff waddles his way out of his chair with the assistance of his guards and stomps over towards you, Monkey.
We was just dancing, and next thing I know, she's spinning off into the... Wow. That's all I say.
You have killed that poor, innocent woman with your negligence. Guards, escort him away immediately. Reese, you're down to about 5 minutes of your charm.
I go, spin off. Remember, death is a temporary thing in this household.
Time to remove some sperms.
He'll look at you,
She's not a Spaulding.
still charmed by you, and fine, he may keep his head. But he is now banished from our tour. Send him back to the main courtyard, and he'll give you a, yes, I'm being so gracious, nod towards you. As you are aware, based off of what he just did, he does utilize his power for execute, which would have been a bloodbath, obviously, but
Yes, you would have murdered everyone.
more than likely, yeah. Like,
What a way to start the evening.
the Archmage will take a step forward into the room now seeming to get a closer proximity. Glenn, Monkey, you become aware, and Monkey, you are being escorted by two of the royal guards.
My apologies, and I let myself be escorted with the earring in my pocket.
I approach him and I go, because I know Kat handed me the necklace because she was originally supposed to give it. You find the dude. I go, spin off. If you just banish him, he's just gonna come back. Let me banish him, and I'm gonna put him in the necklace.
Monkey?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Mm.
As you pull forth your magic, Monkey, are you willing as you see the necklace moving towards you?
In your mind, you hear, "This is that way you can get into the meeting."
I think I have noticed that Reese does keep his word. And although I'm nervous based on my past and being trapped in a gem, I will let him. I'm hesitant, but I let him. I've also seen the necklace work before, so I know.
Yes.
But there's still some.
Dick was in there for a while.
Yeah, there is some nervousness about
Absolutely.
being this vulnerable.
I go, maybe a trip to hell will change your tone in front of our Lord. And I hit him with the necklace.
Bing! Monkey, you are willing, so you go inside, and Reese, when you turn around, you see the Archmage standing beside Spinoff looking over at you while you were doing that. His hands no longer in the proper behind his back state that they usually are, instead being in front of himself in this position. Now, to a layman, it would look as if he is praying, but to you, this is a perfect mage's position to immediately weave symbols that need to be happening without drawing an immediate alarm. And he smiles as he sees you do that.
I look at Spinoff. He's in hell. He'll be there for the day. The next 24 hours. It'll teach him.
It's true. I literally am in my own hell.
Yeah. Yeah. Very good, Rasan. This is an invaluable member of our family. Oh, poor innocent Claire. Oh no, she's not Claire. Clarice? Yeah, she's Clarice.
Is she a Spaulding? Like an official Spaulding?
Married in.
Married in, okay. Because the bloodline have to remember, if I resurrect one, it triggers that deal.
Yep. But
Yeah,
anyways...
This is a temporary thing, sir. You know what I mean?
Of course. Anyways, shall we continue our tour? Excuse me, Lord Spinoff. Would you mind if I had a conversation with your, well-spoken about companion here?
I'm picturing Glenn. Sure.
Of course you may. We are going to be heading to the next site, and then after that, the lounge. Be sure to bring him with you on your way back. Of course, my lord. The rest of the Spalding, some of them, like, taken aback and astonished that this happened. The 4 that were less invested in all of the events seem to just be very on edge right now, and the tour continues as the Archmage looks over at Glenn and nods his head to follow the group.
I'm following the group or following him?
The group.
Okay.
He wants to stay back and talk with Reese.
Okay.
I told Glenn, keep an eye out for them. I got Monkey.
Got it. So stay with the group.
Yeah.
Got it. All right. I'll leave them to it.
Mm-hmm.
As
While I'm in,
yeah,
while I'm in the gem, I'm gonna attempt to put the earring in.
yeah, you could do that.
Actually, if I could though, could I like try to hang in the back of the group?
You can, but they are
Smooth it.
marching to the next site, so you can
Got it.
lag behind. But at some point, you're definitely going to draw suspicion.
Got it. All right, yeah. I'll stick with the group then.
So he removes his hood, and you see the completely bald head, freshly shaven. As it is clear to you at this point, this individual is not naturally bald. He has to shave to be like this. His eyes completely wide open, staring at you. Not a single hair follicle on his entire body. So, you're here trying to speak to the threefold.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Rasan, there's no need for you to be so defensive when it comes to me. I myself have encountered a couple of them before. I'm curious as to what purpose you need them.
That is strictly Asmodeus Church business, as you know. And that is not for me to say. I am just delivering a message to him, which was delivered in that song. Whether he actually got the note or not is completely up to him. Or even if he was here. Truth be told, I don't even know what the guy looks like.
I am curious about you.
Oh, darling, I'm a very curious creature.
You don't quiver in
myself.
fear at my presence.
Should I? I've met very powerful mages recently.
Powerful, sure. Archmages? Leaders of their
I've-
schools?
I'm pretty sure she could give you a runaround or two.
Oh, you are speaking about the princess from Nostrovia.
Maybe.
Hmm.
Was this, to clarify, is this the wizard that we left at the gate?
The same one, yes.
First things first, where's Hillian? Because Hillian was following you.
Yes, he was.
I look around. Hillian, you here?
There is no sign of your servant here.
Did you banish Hillian?
I got rid of it. It did not need
Could've
to be
just-
following me while I was servicing our Lord today.
I mean, you could have just asked him to go. He would have left. I have to resummon him, and that's a church thing again.
I am very
Yes.
curious. You see, I was told that you, under no circumstance, were supposed to be allowed into that meeting but yesterday. And yet here I was told today by our Lord to allow you inside. Now, why would that be? He begins circling around you slowly.
Well, I have had a change of heart about my family. And I seek power. The power to destroy someone's world. And I feel like I can get that through this.
But why did they change their opinion on you? I did not sense any latent enchantments upon him, but I was specifically looking for spells. Are you capable of enchanting somebody beyond just spell crafting?
between me and you, I'm just really good with my words.
I need you to roll a deception check on that one.
Ooh. Okay, I gotta prep the honk.
Ooh. 19 plus.
Yeah. Let's see what I get.
Oh, yeah, this guy's good at that.
21. I'm gonna honk because I feel like I need it.
Are you using a honk or are you using Lewin's?
I'm gonna use Lewin's because she
Alright.
was one. What do I have to say?
Anyone need wine?
Anyone need wine?
Yeah, that's what they said. So.
I dig it. Yeah, it's a 21. I'm gonna use my last lucky. I feel like this is a roll to do it on.
Now,
Yeah, it was meant to be.
Monkey, this entire time you are listening to this conversation from within the amulet. You're able to hear everything outside of you. Now, unfortunately, you do count as being inside of your own extra-dimensional space, so you can't use your earring to communicate, but you can hear everything that happens within 10 feet of the amulet.
Okay. I thought that might be the case, but wanted to put it on just in case.
Hey, now you know.
That's half the battle.
Your facade is breaking. Slowly. You're being taxed right now. See, the most beautiful of words will always wane in the face of greatness.
I am pretty great. I'll give you that much.
He'll lean over towards you. If I find out that you have done anything to compromise the man who gave me this glorious opportunity to flex my mind.
What will you do? Tell me what.
Houses will burn. Here, maybe over by the mountains.
And I will tell you, if you at all tried to come at me, I will leave your skin flayed at the front gate in front of your school that you preach that you're the head of.
I'm looking forward to it. He takes a step back away from you and he drops something behind him as he keeps walking over towards the others. And when you look down, it is a small, impish finger severed. If Helion was killed, it would be disappeared.
I look at that finger and I think, you always say an eye for an eye.
So,
I join the party.
everybody catches up about halfway through the next portion of the tour, and at this point, the 5 remaining minutes, Reese, have been expanded. Your control over him has waned significantly, and now you see that the Archmage is walking specifically beside Spinoff. His hands constantly twirling around a beaded bracelet that he has and holding on, and this individual is ready for a fight, and more than that, he's hoping for one. Very dangerous. As Glenn is in the back and Reese are able to catch back up with him.
Hey, everything go all right?
In his mind, he hears, yes, that individual's going to be a problem.
Got it.
Now, let's get back over to Bart. So, Bart, you've made this deal with the devil a very frequent thing for you to be doing at this point.
My life is a bartering chip.
She will smile with you and begin walking down various different hallways and bringing one of the guards with her to, tell the other guards in the location to talk with her so she can enchant them and keep moving. Where are we going again, sweetheart?
I think that the docks is the right place for us to start investigating. It seems that Catherine has the upstairs to herself. Reese is making good progress towards the smoking lounge. And the kitchens, I don't think that's a good lead. We check out the docks, see if there's anything shady going on there, and if we can't find anything immediately obvious, I want to get a look in these supposedly flooded underground levels. Sealed off 5 years ago? Bullshit. Well, sealed off, sure, but that's too suspicious, surely.
So, you continue walking with her, and she's bringing you over towards the far away corner of this castle that you all are walking on. As you approach over, she rounds the corner and then pulls back and gestures for you and her entire entourage to follow suit. Looking back, you see now she has 15 people under her control in total. She just collects them all as she's moving through here. Well, that's going to be a problem.
What?
By that door, they have a mage. Mages are known for being exceptional when it comes to my wiles. Not impossible, but exceptional.
The mage on their own?
By the looks of it, there was 2 standing guards. More than these buffoons I've been collecting. Definitely individuals that have a more permanent job to adhere to.
Right. If I can get the mage on their own, I can deal with them fairly quickly, I think. I have an idea. I'm going to need to borrow one of your friends.
Take your pick, she gestures.
He'll just, he'll grab the most gormless looking one and say, wait here out of sight. If you hear shit starting to go tits up, then come and help, please. And he'll, sort of take the guard by the hand, collar, I don't really care, and put him around, is there a side room nearby, somewhere that I could try and convince the mate? Okay, so I'll tell you what I want to do, and we can work out from there. My plan is to stuff the guard into a sort of side room, say, help, go up to the mage and the 2 guards, say, help, I think this guy's been charmed, poisoned, something. I need someone with more magical skill than me to take a look at him and see if they can help. Convince the guard and convince that it's just, the mage can deal with it. The mage goes off on their own. And then I'm going to ooze him in the throat.
When in doubt, oozing. So your position is right here, but on the opposite side. So your position is right by this corridor with everybody else in tow. Their position is in the middle of this long open hallway that's very wide, as it is a location for them to ship objects in from. And there's a door right behind them. As far as rooms go, you don't see any nearby other than the room that's beside their archway that they're securing right now, which presumably would be a guard station or a holding cell for some objects.
Okay. And based on my previous uses of the, ooze sphincter in my palm, is that a take someone by surprise and it will take them over, or do I need to use it on someone who's nearly dead?
You have to use it on somebody who's nearly dead or weak enough that the ooze can simply kill them, i.e. 10 hit points remaining or less.
Okay.
That's why commoners get oozed. Others do not.
Yeah, okay.
You would actually have to beat up Gavril for a moment.
Oh. Right.
I think Bart oozed his pants a little bit thinking about that.
I did, yeah.
We refer to ooze way too often in this campaign.
I gotta be weak enough to swallow, not
We
weak enough to spit out.
I hate all of you.
Have we seen much by way of other gods in the area? Or have we collected all of them?
You've collected You started off with 3 Spauldings, and you've collected 12 guards along this entire corridor to get to your current location.
Okay.
And you have
None.
every single one. That's...
Yeah. Nanu, just how strong is your hold over these idiots?
I
If
can
we were
make them
just-
do anything that is not directly harmful to themselves or their trusted allies.
But if they see their trusted allies in danger, they won't actively try to help if you tell them not to.
Oh, no, as soon as I put their trusted allies in danger, I lose my hold on them. But you're not the one charming them. Of course, I could command them not to do anything, but if they see you as my ally, which, based off of the way I've been talking to you this entire time, they probably will, well, unfortunately, they would probably break out of my spell.
Can I take on an archmage and 2 knights on my own? Probably not. I mean, maybe. Now is not the time to test that.
Keep in mind, you're still not wearing your armor.
Oh, God.
Yep.
Definitely not.
Of course, you always have your weapon when you need it, but...
I do.
What are you trying to achieve here? You wish to go outside?
We need to get past those guards, yes.
The only thing I can think of is... What about a good old-fashioned distraction?
Ooh, okay. If we instruct your posse of guards to start running down the other end of the hallway, calling for help with a Spaulding under attack, it's a little loud, but it might
Very
distract them long
loud.
enough.
I was thinking maybe... Maybe we start to have them fight each other. Not really hurt themselves, but a fight at the end of the hall that needs to be broken up. Of course, while that is going on, you can slip your way over to your destination and, well...
I like that. That's good. Thank you. Yes. We send the 3 Spauldings down to the other end of the corridor. And once they get to the end, they have an argument, start fighting each other. The guards have to run off and stop it. Okay, this works. I like that.
So, you 3 over there, do you know how to shadow box? What? No, I have no idea. What? So, you're going to be throwing your fists, but not touching each other, and you need to make it look really convincing. And if you do this, I'll give each of you a kiss on your cheek. What if I really hit him? No. Just fake it. And while that is happening, she goes down the hall a little bit and takes a footstool that is positioned there. You notice that the Spauldings every 100 feet or so have a footstool for them to sit on, probably from exhaustion of walking that far. And she
It's
pulls
a big
it.
castle, man. I don't blame him.
Oh, it's a huge. But 100 feet, that's. She pulls it out, sits down. Begin. And the three of them go out and start wrestling and fighting each other. As this is happening, you hear the guards from the end of the hallway begin to get questioning about what is going on, and one of them approaches over, and when that happens, more of the guards that she has gathered up start moving into the location, and the mage itself is the last one standing at their post and position, keeping watch of everything. They are definitely watching the entire pile, and you see that this individual seems more nervous than the other mage that you encountered. This one seems more of the apprentice to the mage than just the mage itself. And as you're standing there, she will take one of the helmets from the guards that she's had and toss it over to you. Bart, enjoy.
Perfect. Yeah. So Bart will put the helmet on, stride up, wearing his full military regalia.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, you need to go assist with that. Those guards are incompetent, and you might need to start using spells to calm them. Can you do that kind of magic? Are you that competent? Are you going to be able to help me with this? Are you going to do what you're told?
I need you to roll an intimidation roll.
Yes, sir. 19?
19. I'm... Yes, sir. And he marches over towards the group, and he starts, he looks into his spell book, looking for what is going to cause all of that to start. And you can just...
And while that's going on, Bart will beckon Nanu over and slip in through the dock entrance door.
As she approaches, you see that she does have a bowl of popcorn as she's watching all of the mess happening, and the two of you, whoop, 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 right outside to the backyard.
You're enjoying this a little too much, aren't you, dear?
You have to enjoy your trips whenever they come. It's incredibly fleeting for somebody of my stature. But good job. You saw they were flustered, and you took advantage of that. It's very good to make sure that the weak stay oppressed.
I just know how easy it is to torture an inexperienced soldier.
Really, you would give that one the classification of soldier as you move out and you move to the side area, looking around the perimeter out back.
I'll let anyone in the military these days as long as they can cast a spell.
Fair enough. Now, looking out back. Oh, that's not the right one. You see the gorgeous evening sky above your heads. The perfect position that you have thanks to the full moon that is out tonight to look upon the gorgeous rocky range at the far end of this vast lake before you. For the briefest of moments while you're looking at it, uh-oh, that's the wrong button. It reminds you of your homeland. The gorgeous mountain ranges that stretched as far as the eyes can see. The beautiful way that the frigid Alps of them would just make the little clouds drifting around them seem ethereal in nature. This gorgeous circumstance that otherwise you never got to really experience. This is actually the first time you've ever looked at the netted formation. The first time you've been capable of looking at it, thanks to the way the castle and the entire town is designed. Beautiful, beautiful formation it is. It's distracting for a moment. But you look down and at the warm lake down below, you see that there appears to be 2 ships positioned out back. Both of them seem to have a crew associated with them. And they look ready to embark. Not like they came into the docks and they're going to be leaving, but they're positioned to leave quickly.
Bob will say into his earring, Spauldings have got 2 ships in the docks, crewed and ready to leave at a moment's notice. Seems suspicious. Oh, by the way, I'm successfully infiltrated the docks.
Copy.
As you're talking, you feel a knife lifted to your throat. Don't you fucking move, you piece of shit. Nanu turns and looks down. This little thing really just threatened you.
Oh, it's one of those, for fuck's sake.
One of those? What do you mean? What do you know? And it, like, holds the knife, like, very threatening.
How is it reaching my throat?
It's standing on a table.
Oh, for God's sake.
Cool. You always make sure not to be within halfling climbing up reach.
So
True.
halflings
Fallen
bring
victim to one of
step
the
stools
classic
with them.
blunders. I know that you're planning on making your move at midnight, and I'm not here to try and stop you. I just need to get some evidence of what these sick fucks have been up to first.
Wait. Who are you?
Not associated with any particular faction. We just ran into one of your associates in an attempt to assassinate Joshi the other day.
You're the group that's working with Katarine.
Correct.
The knife withdraws from your throat.
Thank you.
You look over at Nanu, who's... You see that there's like a very small ball of fire in her hand as she's looking down at the tiny creature.
I won't tell her to relax. Like, you know, if the halfling needs to go, the halfling needs to go, but having her on the ready is good.
I apologize. We were told not to interrupt your proceedings before midnight. By the looks of it, you all barely have an hour and some change left.
Well, I'd best be going then. What's with the ships?
They pulled up here yesterday. Late into the evening, they turned them around and stocked them full of various objects that came from within the castle itself. The guards on the ship are hired guards, not Spaulding ones.
Did you see what kind of objects?
They're all crated.
Fair enough. Right. Good to know. I'm going to try and take a look at these underground areas, then see. No. Easy evidence in front of me. Focus on that. Suspicion later. Good. Thank you. And
I've not been able to rig the ships with explosives yet.
well, good to know you're not going to be able to blow it up with me on it. I'm not going to stop you, by the way, when I leave. I have no interest. Just do me a favor. Pass around the message that the Spaulding princess is to be left alone. She seems like she's having a change of heart and may actually be of use.
He just looks very pissed off at that comment.
Yeah, don't worry. If she turns out not to, if we can't flip her, she's already dead.
We're ready for a new era.
You have no idea.
Have you all been able to find anything thus far?
Working on it. There's a secret meeting taking place imminently that one of my associates is infiltrated, and Catherine is currently working on finding hard evidence upstairs in the castle.
What's the location of the secret meeting? Who's going to be in there?
Not a clue. The room location has been a closely guarded secret. We haven't been able to ascertain that.
Get me this information, if you can. That way I can be prepared. If Spinoff is a known location, I want to kill him.
Okay. I'll pass back this way on our way back to the castle after investigating these crates. If I hear anything from my associates, I'll let you know.
Very good. There's a path the way that you are walking that servants specifically walk. It's out of any of the lights that they have lit. It seems that they aren't ready for servants, or the servants are going to be allowed to take the primary pathway of all of the Spauldings.
Cute that you think if the Spauldings have some kind of grand event with an exit plan that they're going to be taking their servants. But thank you. Godspeed, little man. Stay safe.
He looks up at Nanu, who's still like glaring down at him. Sup, sexy lady. And then just walks away. Halflings aren't afraid of shit.
No.
He's like, I'll clap a
Biggest
bitch.
dick energy.
You think I don't stay strapped with that step stool? I'll fuck you up.
Next magic item. Pocket step stool.
Hell yeah. You think I didn't already make that for halflings?
Bart's going to take the aforementioned servant pathway, and on the way down, he's going to put a message out to Reese. I don't suppose you know the location of that smoking lounge yet. I ran into one of our halfling friends, and they're quite keen to get the drop on Spinoff.
These earrings, do you have to speak out loud or is it telepathic?
It's telepathic.
Okay. Then I telepathic. I stay quiet because I'm being watched.
Glenn, you don't have one right now. Oh, yeah. And Monkey doesn't receive because he's in an extra dimensional space. Whoo!
If you're being watched and you don't feel safe enough to think, just update me when you feel safer. Currently investigating some suspicious crates and Bob will then send this out to everyone. Currently investigating some suspicious crates that were loaded onto these ships. Going to have to sneak past a lot of guards, but should be fine. Failing that, I'll have one of our halfling friends rig the ships to blow.
So.
Keeping an eye on the mage, I say, just make sure you bring the pizza in hot. And I'm looking for a reaction off of that comment.
Insight check.
Genius. Love it.
Okay. The mage does not seem to have any clear reactions to this. You are standing far in the back at this point, more than 30 feet away. You're not positive he's not actively listening, but at least from this range, he's not reacting to it. So, the three of you, along with the rest of the Spauldings, keep at this unique tour that is being given to you. Towards the end of it, you watch as Spinoff turns around and addresses the crowd. Well, unfortunately, this is the end of our tour. Thank you, everybody who participated in this, and we'll be sure to keep all of your inputs in mind at our next family meeting. Rasand, would you mind waiting up as well as a few other of our family members? He'll look around and address particular people. Terrence, Astrid, Byron, Kyle. All of them nod, and everyone else looks a little as they are asked to leave.
I go up to Glenn. I go, "You got some dirt on you," and I use the cloth that we got from Dimitri, and I use that to clean his face with. And I go, "Make sure you clean yourself." And I throw it at him. Hopefully, he gets the drift.
Well, we'll see.
Grab the cloth in pocket because I'm pretty sure it's the cloth that I think it is.
So, everybody else leaves down the hallway and corridor, and you watch as everybody is leaving. Glenn, are you joining them with the leaving?
Yeah, I'll just say, yeah, thanks for the nice tour. Hope you guys have fun with whatever you guys are doing next.
He does not acknowledge you.
Right on. And then he starts walking out.
As everybody walks away, Spinoff nods, and the 5 of you go following him. Then you get over towards a hallway that, when at first you look down it, you don't notice anything about it. It just has pictures and tables and footstools for people to sit on because they're tired. Actually, no, they're rich chairs for people to sit on with cushions. But as he walks over towards one of the walls, you watch as a door materializes that you're not sure if it was previously there or never there before. It's strange. He opens the door and smiles at everybody as they walk in. He holds it open for them, being flanked on the other side by his archmage. As you get over there, you see that it is a veiled door that has this long curtain separating anybody from seeing, and as you push in, that is when you'll be able to look inside. And pushing in, you see that you are in a very lovely, large-looking room hidden away. And you see why it has the name Smoke Lounge. There are chairs littering around the floor that are very wide and made purposefully, specifically for spalding individuals. In the center of this room is this magnificently large hookah that has 10 total hoses attached to it. The room is being filled with the sweet fragrance of a tropical blend of shisha that you get to breathe in and appreciate. You watch as the individuals start spreading across the room, and this room is pretty nice. The smell, the aroma is very lovely, and the atmosphere is much darker than other locations you've been to thus far. Glenn, you're outside still, so I'm going to move you over to here. Just because that'll prove, you're not in the room yet. You have to get there. And Monkey, you're everywhere Reese is because you're inside the necklace. Monkey, you don't smell anything. You just hear everything around you. Spinoff will lock the door behind all of you, and you notice that the Archmage stays positioned by it as well. It's always so exhausting, isn't it? Going on that putrid tour for everybody to watch. The family all nods unanimously. Rasand, please.
Yes.
Enjoy the finest smoke that you can have in the world. We have it imported here from various different countries and experiment throughout the year before we choose whom we share this with. And you see the other family members go over and start sucking in from their various hoses.
I'm gonna subtle cast protection from poison. And then I'm gonna go and smoke the thing.
Alrighty. You take it and inhale and that is lovely. The taste of it is, well, smoky, obviously, but you get hit with a blast of passion fruit, watermelon, strawberries, and this underlining tone that's a bit more raw in there. And everybody seems to be relaxing with this, sitting down in their chairs, Spin-off joining as well. You know, it is... Wait, if you're casting it with your weapon, that's not a subtle castable thing since you're...
Oh, yeah. I'm just drawing my thing. It's like, of course.
Yeah. Bum, 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 bum. Da, 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 da.
I mean, you're already
Play it
seen
off.
as eccentric.
Yeah, I play it off as music.
You know, Rasan, Spin-off steps up behind you and places his hand on your shoulders and the back of your neck. Tell me again why Joshi was so adamant about adding you to this mundane event.
Because he got caught in an investigation because he was sloppy. And opposed to him getting hauled off to jail, I pulled some strings and got rid of the guard that was trying to take him to jail. And I was very, very interested in his work. I heard him talk about it for an hour, and it sounded like art.
Well,
And I'm curious, as someone who dabbles in art, to see it firsthand.
well, it is. You see, this is a ritual that has been in the family for generations at this point. But, of course, it is a pricey one at that.
Mm-hmm.
It's the purpose of the head of our household to find the perfect candidate in order to pursue the collection of goods that we need for our particular rituals, while maintaining the secrets to how to perform them. Everybody continues smoking their hookahs and blowing the air, filling it up and making the room lightly obscured.
I'm gonna start coughing really bad, right? And I'm gonna like my lungs. I'm gonna take a couple steps away. I'm gonna just get some. Let's stay in the room, just get away from the smoke a bit.
I would never have expected someone of your nature to be so weak-lunged.
I don't smoke cigarettes.
Oh, this is hard.
And I'm gonna-
with cigarettes.
Oh, just that my lungs, smoker, the first time, baby lungs. And I'm gonna take that opportunity to kind of get away a little bit, right? And check out what's over here, right? This red carpet. And at that time, I'm gonna start cranking the device.
Okay. I need a sleight of hand check from you as you're doing that. Ding, 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 ding.
This is probably gonna be the last honk right here if it comes down to it.
We should have thought about this better. I could have
Yeah.
cranked it in a gem.
Oh yeah, we could. Well,
It's okay.
yeah, we got this.
Hey, you guys are adapting to the situation.
I'm not
Right.
honk.
Honk!
Honk with every honk possible.
Honk for the love of God.
God damn, these honks are clutch.
Yeah.
Hey, it's better.
Yeah, it's still pretty bad. Though.
Definitely better than a nat 1, though. So
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
as you're attempting to clank the device together, you watch as a very pasty hand reaches over and places it on top of the gear as you look over at the Archmage.
Ever seen one of these?
I have not. However, objects such as this should not be, well,
Why? It's like a 3D puzzle.
handled.
I was gonna give it a spin-off.
Allow me to investigate it first.
Sure. I
Yeah.
handed to him, knowing that there's no way to sense the magic in it. 'cause
Yep.
it's in lead.
He'll take it with him and bring it over to one of the side areas as he begins ritually casting Identify, and he's positioned to watch the room and you while doing it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna come with him.
Now, Rasan, please. You know, Jashi has been very useful to our family.
Was it spin-off talking?
Yes.
I did finish cranking though, right?
No, you just started. You need to crank it up for like 20 seconds, and you got caught.
Okay. I go, okay.
He's been very good for our family, but unfortunately, I believe we are going to need a new individual to fill his role, gathering. And it is good that he recommended you before his, well, last breaths were taken. So, we just need to make sure that you are as trustworthy as you are claiming. Now, I do have to ask, what was that magic you used earlier to entice me to take such fondness over you?
It was a bardic song that I've learned in my trade as in my own travels. And it's used to doesn't so much control you or anything. It just makes you really into the music I play.
Make a deception check.
That was truth.
It's deceptive
That was
because
all truth.
it is true, but you're making it sound like it's definitely not to control you when it was used to control him.
It doesn't control that.
No, it
Yeah.
just makes him agree to everything you say so long as it's not harmful directly to him.
Yeah.
That
Been
would
rolling like
literally be
shit.
the definition of the charm spell.
Oh no!
Yep. I would also like to point out that per the ability, they don't realize they've been charmed.
No, he has no idea he was charmed. He just knows that that was different for him. He's inquiring about what you are doing. Now let me roll an insight check for spin-off.
I will
Plus 5
now
billion
since
wisdom.
I have that subtle cast, I will use that last subtle cast to Silvery Barbs it.
Alrighty. Oh, fucking hell.
Nope. I will give myself the advantage.
You see that he's very suspicious of you now from your words. Now, Rasan, it is very important that I make you a little more aware of what is happening. You see, our ritual allows us to prolong our lives. We've been doing this for generations, but only the heads of household have access to it. It doesn't stop us from dying. It allows us to continue. I have in my possession an unique artifact, and if you feed souls to it, you can replace your own organs that belong to those souls. We just need someone to gather the souls. Of course, we are very, very... How do I put this? Cautious. So I just need you to be aware of the circumstance. Terrence, please. And Terrence goes over to that rug on the far side that you were at and pulls back a curtain where you see Jashi is strung up against the wall by his own organs. There's a large trough of all of the blood from his body that is filled up, and the smell is overshadowed by the smell of shisha in the air.
What did you do to warrant such a punishment?
He failed
Betrayed
me.
the family? Hmm.
It is not his place to fail. It is his place to gather. He was discovered failing, and, well, by all accounts from what you've said, I have not heard a single whisper from any guard, any station, anywhere about this secret being revealed. Though, of course, there was a small bit of snooping by Cade, but we will have to look into that at a later day. You see, Rasand, I believe we've been quite far away over these years that you've been serving our family, and as a member of it as well. And I think now is a perfect time to keep you close. He moves back over to you and places his hand on the back of your neck again, smiling at you.
I go, of course, for the bloodline of the Spauldings.
Of course. Now, of course, this means we're going to have to do something about, well, the people that know you. See, some of them are none the wiser. That Glenn fellow seems like a ripe moron. He wouldn't notice if you never aged. He'd possibly even die before you did. But the other ones...
He's gullible.
Correct.
They all are.
I
They're all
don't
came to
believe
my manor.
that.
They've all lived at my manor. They've all been unrealized that they've been followed.
Well,
And that I've been keeping very close tabs on them.
good. But if they start to become a little too curious, as I have reason to believe one of them has been whispering in the ear of my daughter, we will need them dealt with swiftly. And of course, longevity of life is not the only thing that you gain by joining our inner circle. Just remember, you get to outline the history of Spaulding itself. You get to decide the next generation. You get to decide what goals and aspirations we get alongside the rest of us. Astrid here has lived under 4 aliases without anybody the wiser. Every now and again, she just has to grow a little older, move away, and die. Why do you think we keep such robust figures? No one ever questions if we die of a heart attack.
Were you king roughly 100 years ago?
I was.
When the first plague hit?
Who do you think started it? There was rebellion brewing in the streets, and individuals seemed to take notice that we weren't helping them like we originally promised, so I concocted a plan, poisoning their crops and their food, making adamant donations as well, and so many of them died. Rasand, I need you to give me a charisma save as your mind goes back to your wife, the only one you actually loved.
Oh, buddy.
Come on.
Technically, I have
What?
advantage because of silvery barbs.
Yup, you do. Go ahead.
But
Oh.
can you reset like what's going on there? Cause that's 3 in a row.
I roll. I
Almost.
told you guys, I'm cursed D20s. My special.
He knows his type.
17.
It's the curse of every DM. We always roll shit. Like,
Yeah. 17.
you can maintain your composure, but there is, if you were under harsh scrutiny by somebody trained, they would be able to see through it. You can maintain your composure, however.
I look at the Archmage, knowing that he's in the middle of the ritual cast still.
His attention's like half on you, half on that.
Yeah.
He's paying attention still.
I know Monkey doesn't have a weapon, does he? I go. This artifact. What does it truly entail?
Well, keep smoking and you will come with us to go see. You see, we are currently writing our organs, the ones that have begun to fail, with the scraps of the others, the ones brought here.
In everyone's earring, they hear back of the museum, magical door. Come here now.
Now, before we get to that point, let's see what Kat's been doing this time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These ones, I warned you guys. Forever.
Kat, Samdi, and Davina. You exit out into the hallway. Oh, come on. And you head over towards the room. Samdi, a simple fly on the wall, and Davina and...
We used pass wall.
Oh, yes, you walk through the wall into this room. So, we'll place you...
I could have gotten through it, right?
Oh, yeah, you could have just flown. Like, it's literally in... Here, wall, open. Just...
It's a Looney Tunes wall. Like...
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's what I was...
Yeah, it's literally slap it, just like a little hole, and climb
For
in.
some reason, I was thinking something like Earth Glide with golems and whatnot. Not golems, elementals.
So, as you climb in here, the first thing that you take note of is that this is a very large changing room. You notice certain things that your late grandfather had in his quarters. It's various different string-ups on the walls and different features that would help servants to fit him into his outfits. Not that he was a terribly robust person like a Spaulding, but still very robust. As you enter in, you look around at this very large open area, and the room seems more, well, fitted into many other rooms, a place where somebody could hang out at many different points in times, different areas, and never feel like you're in the same environment despite that. Davina looks around and... Well, he seems to have redesigned it since the last time I was in here. Oh, and I should show you Davina as well. Here she is.
Aw.
Yeah. She's younger.
The big little princess.
Anyways, as you begin entering in and looking around, you notice that there's a couple of steps down over towards this large pile in the middle of the room. The pile itself seems to have many different books, ledgers, and pieces of furniture stacked on top of it with frayed pieces of paper that are crumpled up and tossed over there as well. It's positioned like a pyre, but not lit, just over there. Then you look further on, and there's this open window on the far side, and there's another one of those stacks and pyres in the room. It immediately draws reason of concern why he would have something like that here.
Right. For arcane reasons or for burning documents?
Roll me an Arcana check. Or investigation. Yeah, let's go investigation on that one.
26.
You head over there and start taking everything and unraveling, and yeah, this is like a burn the documents type of situation.
Son of a fuck.
What is this mess? Honestly, his servants are slacking off almost as much as mine are.
He's destroying evidence.
What?
Why else would you burn paper? He has a fireplace over there.
What's
Besides,
evidence? That's goes over and starts like taking pieces of paper and looking, and These are just various logs that he has. What is...
I don't know that's all that they are. As I'm looking through it, do I see anything of note?
You start taking out various pieces of paper, and they seem to be travel records, locations that his personal ship has sailed, and none of this is public knowledge at all. It's just things that he's done and the record keeping for where he goes, why he goes there.
It could be potential, but not the smoking bits that were. Because I was gonna say smoking gun, but we don't know guns. But not the evidence I'm looking for.
Not the smoking hookah.
Yeah, not the smoking hookah.
Not the sparking wand.
That's a good one. I'm going to. I only have it. Can only do it ritually, so it's going to take a few minutes. But I'm going to ritually cast detect magic.
All right. So you would also notice from this position that his bed right here does have a fire on it. However, it seems to be following an incense line, like a burning line, as it slowly keeps expanding outwards.
So he's burning his bed. I'm going to go take a look and see if I can figure out why.
Alrighty. It seems that the line of fire is not expanding onto anything else, just following the incense, and the incense seems to leave off of the bed over towards that first pyre, over towards the second pyre, and then it seems to lead over towards this wall here without going anywhere. And as you're standing there, it gets maybe an inch in about a couple of minutes.
So this has been going for a while.
Yes.
So as it's going this way, I'm going to follow it where it's leading to, and it disappears.
It goes up to the wall and then disappears. It's flush up against it.
I'm going to look around to see if there's a hidden door.
Investigate again, please.
16.
No door that you can see.
I'm going to continue with the detect magic.
Alrighty. Detecting the magic within this area. After a moment, it's the incense itself from the fire seems to be magical. The wall that you were looking at, distinctly not magical itself, but something beyond it just pings your senses as very fucking magical.
Something is there.
The incense pings as transmutation. And the thing on the other side pings as evocation.
She also pings a fly.
Oh yes, there is a ping on the wall, and you see Somdi. Or Fly-D. Some fly once told me.
Man,
The
It's a magical
jokes.
fly, but do you know if it's Somdi or not? Is the big question.
Good
no,
point.
he was following. He was following.
Could I have turned myself
Disagree.
into a scarab?
If you want to cast the spell again. That's
Just
your
Andy
spell
pops out of fly form. Hi.
slot.
Something behind here. Need to get back here. Need to get back.
What are you looking for? She looks over there.
There is something behind this door that is very strong magic,
Oh.
and
His desk used to be in that corner, but I don't see it anymore.
his desk.
Yes.
Is it? I'm taking a look around. Is his desk like in the room?
The desk seems to be broken down and placed over top of the pyres.
Like, oh, that's to destroy your own furniture. It's definitely time to hide something. I just do not know how to get in. All right, will you stand back for a moment?
Sure.
And I'm gonna hit the door with firebolt.
Okay. Oh, this is really important based off of your accuracy. Please roll.
Oh, can I use my advantage?
Sure.
$23.
You're accurate. 12 fire damage as you burns into the door. You watch as a portion of it begins to singe and spread, and you see flakes of ambers falling off. And when you look on the other side, there we go. There is this very large object in this room, filling it up, that seems to be an amalgamation of various different creature parts that are all swirling and whirling together with one another. You see there's dragon's wings, there's incredibly long spider talons, and you see the incense moves up over into that pile of everything before disappearing.
So the instance that is transmuting things is... Oh, this is interesting.
Now, when you look at everything in there, you do see, Samdi at least sees, because his passive is high enough, in the center of that moving swirl of body parts of various creatures, there seems to be a ledger, brown ledger. But only Samdi sees.
Sandy's going to wait a second to see if Kat notices.
And she would investigate it, right? She like... I'm not trying to meta to try to find it. This is an interesting thing. She would go to investigate it.
Okay. Go ahead.
And I'm going to use a second advantage. I would have done so anyway with this.
Well, yeah, we're nearing that time. You got to use it or lose it.
Wow.
Let me just say, it's probably a good thing that you guys didn't fight this session based off of these rolls. Only Bart has been on top of it. Actually, no, Monkey as well.
I've had some good rolls. Can I honk?
Yeah, of
That'd be
course.
Fantastic.
That's the point of the honk.
Honk. Better 24.
Looking at this seems to be some type of ritualistic spell placed here that you can make out, and the objects inside of it seem to be held in place, like they're waiting for something to activate. But when you look into all of these moving parts that are moving fairly quickly, you do see that there is a book that's currently in the dead center of it all.
I'm trying to look to see what I can do to try to get it. Does it look like if I touch anything, it will hurt me, or
Arcana
could
check.
I reach? Could I reach for it? 17.
Nothing about this looks safe.
Okay.
That's the best you can discern. Nothing about this looks safe.
Mm. And it's floating in the middle?
It is.
How far across is it? Is it so if I were to step in? Okay.
You would have to step in there and reach across and down to grab it.
Why do I have nothing good prepared?
At this point, Samdi is going to fly next to Cat,
Mm-hmm.
land on the ground, and then transform back.
Immediately. Davina screams, pointing at you.
It's alright.
Don't-
It's alright. It's
An intruder.
he's no, Divina. He's with me.
What? Why? What?
Him. Didn't realize he was going to come along with me, but he is with me and has the same
I'm going to
motivations.
mentally connect to Katarine. At what point do you just knock her out?
He'll get a. I'm trying to do this.
Eesh.
I'm trying to do this in a way that honors Lear, right? I have my reasons.
Yeah, her methods are slow.
Well-
Anyway, as he turns to her and does a little bow, Samdi, pleasure to meet you.
Hi.
You might have seen me on the in the dance floor, so to speak. As I'm
No.
going to reach into my bag of holding, take out the staff that Katarina always has for you,
Thank you.
and I'm going to try and mage hand the book from within the pit.
Okay.
I can cast it without any components, if that matters.
Okay. As you cast the spell and put it in there, I do need you to give me a charisma check. As you feel whatever's inside of there seems to be pulling at the hand itself, trying to grasp at it.
Well, use it or lose it, I guess. Game advantage.
Yep.
Oh, not
Oh,
Let's
Yes!
go. All right, so 3 of you would have been fine rolling combat tonight.
I
Yeah,
took
and-
all the ones, so you guys don't have to.
Yeah,
You're
perfect.
welcome.
This is my second roll today, by the way.
Yeah.
Well, third, technically. I re-rolled one.
Yeah, you've been a fly on the wall. So, as you feel that pressure pushing against it and something inside of this circle trying to grasp at your magical hand, you, instead of grab and pull it out, you have it toss the book and then dispel the hand, as whatever was happening was way too weird. As the book comes flying out and you grab onto it, it is freezing cold.
I begin hot potatoing the book. Just shit.
and Kat is like, please don't get it back in that thing. So she'll try to catch it too.
What's going on? Oh, it's Daddy's journal.
Oh, it's.
Question: do you not see that? And I point in the room.
Whoa! Now that she gets over here, she looks. What's? We should really get the guards.
No. Whatever he's doing here to destroy everything, this is what he's using to do it. And we got here just in time. And I'm going to. I would still have detect magic up. Because I didn't cast anything. Is it magical?
The book does not appear to be magical. No.
Alright. I'm going to open it up and start looking through it, see if I can find anything.
Can we check if it's probably not trapped? Sorry. Can I check if it's trapped?
You can certainly try. Investigation, please.
Oh.
14. Oh, 9. Yeah, definitely not trapped. Definitely not trapped. No magic coming off it either.
Mm-hmm. No magic. If somebody would have checked it, I would have looked at it while he was doing the same.
Sure.
26.
The extent of his precautions seems to have ended.
Hmm.
There is no discernible trap for you to
Yeah,
find.
I mean, there's like, all this shit going on.
I mean, what's more line of protection from this guy?
Right. So, she will open it and start to read through it, seeing if what I can find in there.
So, need one last investigation from you.
And I have one last advantage.
Let's go.
Yeah.
29.
Nice. Reading through, this seems to be a well-kept journal of various different individuals within the family that spin-off associates with on random occasions. But it's never just... It's always just the same individuals. Joshi, Astrid, Byron, Kyle, and Terrence. They all seem to be the ones that he is writing in this book about specifically. And as he's going through, he marks down how various orders for specific organs of cattle, he labels it, are to be brought over for a delightful dinner to celebrate his birthday. And he labels each of them with the abbreviations of the various different Spaldings that you see. Astrid, Byron, Kyle, Terrence, and Joshi. Now, he does label it as cattle, but it is very clear which organs were down in that cellar that you saw and which organs were last requested.
Right. So it's like there is a match there. Okay. That's smoking gun.
And is
She's
that
gonna message.
that
She's gonna message Cade.
you send off your message, write it down. 25 words or less.
To clarify, though, the book doesn't say how, right?
No, it's just the incriminating
Orders.
evidence to...
Okay.
It's the necessary things to make sure that the other protectors don't stop you from doing what you gotta do. That's the biggest thing all of y'all wanted.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm weighing between like immortality and these guys. You know what I mean?
Hey, he killed your wife. Indirectly. Sorry, let's
that's
rephrase
kinda-
that. The mother of your daughter.
Allegedly.
I mean, this is what started that crusade. So
Yup.
All
You don't-
right. In chat, I have a journal with an order for the same organs we confiscated at Joshi's. It is our proof.
And as soon as you send that out, everybody with an earring gets pinged. What were you saying, Reese?
Behind the museum, or past the museum, secret door. That's where the ritual's going down. I need you now.
And this is where we're ending the session, everybody. When we come back next week, everybody will have a split-second decision. Continue pursuing what your goals were, or responding to Reese for backup. But players, thank you all very much for playing. Anxiety is spiking right now, but at least it was fun. We'll see you all next week. Goodbye.